Hey guys, so I got this idea here, this video. I wanted to do the Atlas comics. I figured I'm going to read some of them and do my kind of review / recap of the Atlas comic, where the first appearance of Jessica Jones is in honor of the Jessica Jones Netflix series. Figured I'd do reviews of the first like 28 comics or something like that, gearing up to the Jessica Jones Netflix. So let's jump right into it. This will be my review of Alias comic number 1, first appearance of Jessica Jones by Brian Michael Bendis. So yeah, this comic was definitely very interesting. It was my first time reading first appearance of Jessica Jones, and it definitely is very interesting comic with the whole, since it is Marvel Max, it is very mature comic. They definitely don't hide the F word and stuff like that, so it's not, they pretty much just say the F word. They pretty much say all the words you could want. It's not visually like graphic. There's no nudity at all in the comic, but definitely is interesting comic. And the violence, I wouldn't say is really violent at all. I mean, the subject matter is maybe a little bit violent, and there is some sexual topics and stuff like that, and sexual scenes and stuff like that in the comic, but it's not really graphic. So really, I think that the age rate to this might be rated as 18 or whatever, but I think it's really not that bad of a comic. But it is, if you don't like the swear words and you don't want your kid reading about sex too much, then this might be that. But other than that, it's fine. Even that's really not too visually graphic or anything like that, but it is a touchy subject when they talk about it. Basically, this comic is about Jessica Jones. Pretty much just starts off with her talking about herself, how she's, an ex-superhero who became a private eye. And so she used to be, at least she has a photo of her in her apartment with the Avengers. So she pretty much talks about that. And then she meets Luke Cage in the bar, and she talks to him and kind of just pretty much talking and going on as she goes, and just, she just hooks up with him for one night. So that's where it really gets touchy on the whole rating of the whole sex scene. Yes, they've done sex scenes in other comics, like Spider-Man comics, but it's very different. Other than that, definitely is interesting. She talks about how she used to be with one and she just outgrew being a superhero, and then she talks about how she was friends with Marvel, and then at the end of the comics, she meets a new client that wants her to find her sister and find out what's going on, and how her sister met this guy, all of a sudden fallen really in love, and she tried to tell her, it's too, don't rush the gun, jump the gun. All of a sudden, she tried calling her, and she didn't get an answer. She tried calling her again, didn't get an answer, and she could not find her. She went to her apartment, everything was gone, and she just kind of disappeared. When she went to her work, she went to her house, she went everywhere, she was just gone and stuff like that, and there was no sign of her. She just up and left, and she wants to know where her sister is. So Jessica Jones kind of goes and starts looking into it, starts figuring out the details, starts finding, and then when she's on stakeout, stuff like that, looking out, I guess found her. It's not too clear whether or not that's the sister of her client, but she's on a stakeout, and all of a sudden it's 2 a.m. All of a sudden this guy gets page on his pager, and then she's like, oh yeah, he's gonna go, he's cheating, he's clearly cheating and stuff like that. And so she expects him to come out the front door and take off and stuff like that. He doesn't. He leaves the back door, and she's like, weird, why is he not coming out now? Why'd he go out the back door? And it doesn't make sense. And she looks at the roof, and she figures out, and she sees it's Steve Rogers, it's Captain America. So that's where the comic ends. So it's definitely very interesting, this comic, how it ends, with the whole Captain America twist. Definitely interesting. Can't wait to see where that goes and stuff like that, and see how maybe the show even kind of changes this. Let me know what you think, guys. If you've read this comic, the Alias comic, Alias number 1 from 2001, be up there in the title. And yeah, let me know what you think, guys, about this comic, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. And let me know if you want me to continue doing more of these comics. I'll see you guys next video. Peace.